So, we are back. I know it has been a long time since y'all have seen my face and heard my voice. However, come on, we are back. And so, season 6 is on its way. I wanted to record an intro. But really I wanted to talk about the direction of this podcast. It's been a whole year that I've taken off. In that time, I created another podcast that I started with my friends. We stopped doing that podcast because scheduling and just lifing. And so, I've also, been enjoying life a bit. Had a relationship, ended a relationship, and, here we are. So, what I wanted to talk about specifically on this intro is some of the things that have been on my mind about how to do this podcast and how to be consistent at it and how to stick to it, but more so how to take it to the next level. I feel like I've always had great vision for this podcast, but I've never done it the way I needed to do it. So for season 6, one of the things that I wanted to primarily focus on is deeper conversations. We're going to talk about fashion. This is a fashion podcast. However, there's so much more boiling up that needs to be covered in our community. And first, it starts with the mind. And so, no one knows this actually. You guys are the first people to know. But I am going to school to be a therapist. So, along with this podcast, we're definitely going to be diving into a whole lot. I mean, a whole lot of therapy. Tips that you guys can use. I know that a lot of men, especially black men, especially us black men, are afraid. Not only afraid, but just downright despise the idea of therapy. And so, what I hope this does is become a catalyst for you, the way that I got into therapy, because I even got into therapy because of a podcast that I was listening to, and the lady was talking about some of her traumas and stuff like that, and she said that she was going to seek therapy, and she gave the website where she found the therapist, which was Psychology Today. And because of that, it led me down this entire idea that I've been trying to save people my entire life for free. And it's worked for some people. It hasn't worked for others. And so what I want to learn is better techniques. I want to learn how to better communicate with the people that I say I love. And I want to better communicate with you, the audience. You deserve it. You're a community of people that people get tossed to the wayside. When you think about life, right, and you think about tragedies happening, who are the people that get saved most of the time? It's women and children. I think life has taught us that we are always last to be thought of. We are always the bottom of the barrel. And in this community, I want us to be the first to be talked about. And I realized something from listening to the women, watching women grow mentally, spiritually, physically, financially. I've learned it's because they create communities for themselves. So I'm creating a community for us. That's what the XL Tribesman podcast is setting out to do. All right, so without further ado, I want to get into what season 6 is ultimately going to be about. So I wrote a few tips down. So if you see me looking to my right, that's what's happening. There's some tips. Okay. So season 6 podcast, I want to discuss what the future direction of this podcast is supposed to look like. And so some of those things are going to be audience feedback. I'm going to be putting out a lot of call and response videos. If you have been on the page lately, you've noticed I've started this other series that I'm primarily using for my socials, but they're also going to make it here onto the podcast at some point, because I'm going to be asking guests the XL thought of the day, which is the name of the series that I created. And I'm so excited because it's doing so well. And it's only been 8 days or 7 days. And I'm just excited to see. My goal is to do this for 365 days. Don't kill me. I've already missed 1 day, which is why I'm doing a whole lot of recording today. However, I cannot wait to see what everyone thinks about these questions. And like, they're meant to spark conversation. They're meant to spark thought. Even if you never like speak to anyone about it, I want to spark the question within you. I want you to start thinking about these questions more deeply within you, because that's what took me on the journey to eventually heading to therapy. It was because I realized there were a lot of unanswered questions that I had about why I was choosing the people I was choosing to date, why I was choosing the people to be friends that I was choosing. Why do I want to fit into circles that aren't intended for me? Those questions were nagging at me. And so at some point I reached a breaking point in November of 2018. And I thought to myself, like, this can't be life. Myself, or unalive as you're supposed to say these days, that would cause the people I love the least amount of harm. And so on that journey, I decided enough was enough. I don't got this no more. I'm actually stronger than I thought, because I decided to pick up the phone, call a therapist, and say, hey, I need help. Because I don't got this. I believe I'm supposed to have this because I'm a man, but I don't have nothing. I don't got shit. I need your help. Like, I need all the help. Like, help me, because I'm stuck. And so, after 3 therapists, I finally found one, because that's a whole journey in itself. Finding a therapist was quite like finding a relationship. The only difference is it didn't take as long, but it was quite stressful. My first 3 therapists ghosted me. We set appointment dates. I filled out all the intake forms. They never called back. One, actually, I had my first session with, we never had a second session. So it was slightly deterring a little bit, but my determination to overcome these feelings of inadequacy were more important to me than those people who are set out to help you, but did not help me, interestingly enough. So that's kind of what led me down this space. So like I said, I'm going to do a lot of audience feedback in this podcast, and so I want y'all to tell me what y'all think, because I want to get into the real Q&A. Obviously, this is season 6. Technically, season 6 started a year ago. I did my first 2 episodes, and I was supposed to do 10 more, and I never got around to it because I let life me way too much. This is a commitment to myself, but also to you. I also want you all to hold me accountable. Listen, if you see more than 7 days go by and you ain't got a podcast episode in your feed, I need you to blow my socials up. Hey nigga, where you at? We ain't got no podcast episode. What the fuck you doing? So that's first. Secondly, Like, my goal is to create a super high quality podcast. At some time, by the end of season 6, going into season 7, I believe I will have, wrong verbiage. I know I will have a podcast studio to record in. So you're going to get the best quality sound, audio, and visuals out of this podcast. That's my next goal. Then I would love also not only your feedback positively, I'm going to open this space up for critique. If you feel like there's something that needs to be corrected, as long as you're not spewing hate, I'm open to that too. Because I can't always be right. My name ain't Jesus. My name is not Yahshua, and it's not I'm not Jesus. I'm just not Jesus. And I'm not Jesus. And so I need your help in that too. Because like I said, I want this to be a community of helpfulness. So I'm excited to see where we grow as a community. And welcome to season 6.